Hey guys, this is Sharon Ali from Hunny Walia Shows. I'm so excited to say that on June 1st of this year, we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary for Hunny Walia Shows. And to celebrate that anniversary, we are offering you 1 month free promotional for all your business needs, for any talk shows you'd like to have, to our viewers, all our followers. Take advantage of this wonderful, wonderful offer. Once again, to celebrate our 1-year anniversary with Hunny Walia Shows, take advantage of this 1 month free trial to all your business promotions. Thank you so much. Until next time, take care.
Welcome to Hunny Walia Shows. I'm your host, Sonal Fool. In our shows, we always bring people from the community, people from society who are coming forward and doing good. They are committed. They want to become a politician, they become an educationist, they become a psychologist, or young entrepreneur. And when they are coming forward, it's not because of them, what they want to do for the community. City council elections are going to be coming soon. They are in October. Today we have Giselle Journal she is a candidate also, and she is running first time. She is for Ward 1, which is a combination of 2 wards, and it's the new name for the ward is CPV Knee Walk. And in the past, she has a Bachelor of Commerce degree from the University of Alberta, as well as a business degree. She has involved in the community. She has donated even her hair also for the cancer. Welcome, Gisela.
Thank you very much for having me tonight.
Gisela, my first question to you is you have completed your business of commerce. And then you have been involved in the community, in the leagues. Why did you decide to run as a city councillor?
I decided to run for a public office because I want to advocate for everyday Edmontonians like you and me and a lot of other people. I rely on many of the city services, including public transit, as someone who cannot drive, and I can relate to many of the lived experiences that day-to-day people face that are sometimes not always factored in when it comes to city policy and decisions. I'll bring a lot of hands-on, on-the-ground experience, volunteering in my community league neighborhood, with my Filipino community, government and nonprofit advisory boards. I also work in the nonprofit sector, helping the poor, and also with my business degree. I believe that I have a diverse and wide skill set I can offer to City Hall. And for me personally, a principle that I hold very dearly to my heart is be the change you want to see. And I believe it's time to bring positive change in my own way to Edmonton City Hall.
No, I really appreciate being honest and saying you are thinking and you're committed to bring the change. And especially at this time, because of the pandemic, a lot of changes are coming, and we are going to look forward also like what is going to happen in post-pandemic season 2. Mm-hmm. You also mentioned nonprofit organizations. You did mention about the LRT. Did you mention about the transportation? And you did mention you are a Filipino community. So when we come from a city currently it has been in the past too, but now we are more vocal about it. Because when we come, I'm from India too. I have came about 20 years ago, settled down here. I have been told so many things. So when we talk about when immigrants or race or religion or sexual orientation, racism, discrimination, how you will be dealing with that?
There's a principle or a different way of thinking now that governments are introducing, which I'm very optimistic about. And this is called gender-based analysis plus. Now, government officials and policymakers and city administration acknowledge that in a more structured and deliberate way, that different aspects of people's lives and beyond just identifying factors, race and gender and sexual orientation affect how we live our lives, but it's beyond that. Our education level, our literacy level, the type of home we have, do we even have access to internet to know what's happening with the city? So with this new way of thinking that the city is trying to implement, I'm really hopeful that all our policies and processes definitely serve the community. This might be a more sad example, but I'll use it as an example. Policing and sexual assault. As a woman, perhaps The police might be more inclined to listen to me if I become a victim of sexual assault, but how about men? Are there also domestic violence shelters available for men? Probably not as much. Or when it comes to transportation issues, someone like me with a smartphone can be more comfortable getting around the city, but how about someone who's blind? So it is worth it. It might take extra time and effort, but really important to be more broad and considerate and deliberate in terms of our policies and programs to make sure everyone is considered and not left behind.
Gisela, I 100% agree with you. Like, when you say unfortunate or, you know, is discrimination. Discrimination should not be based on sexual orientation, economical basis, your religion, everything. As you said, right, like man shelters, or we have to be careful how we say it, but because it's anyone or any gender could be assaulted and it
That's
could
right.
be discriminated. You did mention about the poor, right? And I will share my experience with you. I have two rental properties, and I got an email, like, when you have rental properties, you have some issues, things goes up and down. It says because I'm renting to the poor people or homeless people, or I'm getting my renters from the social services. And I said, you know what, this is very derogatory remarks. They are they are the remarks which you are giving because they have never thought, or they never chose to be what they are. It
Mm-hmm.
happens, but unless we support them, we change is not going to happen if we want to have a change. If we just put them, back and back, it's not going to happen. Otherwise, it will be broken window story, right?
That's right.
What you will be doing for, like, when we are talking about the poor or unfortunate people or the housing problem, this has been for a long time. Everyone is talking. What's your thoughts on it?
I'm understanding a little bit more better that the housing issue is technically not a municipal problem or a jurisdiction, that's the word I'm looking for, but it really needs to be a collaborative effort between all orders of government. The city has a stake in it and the ability to help by providing the land or appropriate zoning or even the proper public engagement so that residents who live in a particular neighborhood don't get anxious if there is a potential affordable housing unit that will be built over there. I've heard of, if the my research had given me the right numbers, I believe we need roughly about 900 permanent supportive housing units so that those people who are chronically homeless need get not just a roof to stay in, but the ongoing supports that they need. I think that's a really valuable starting point to have permanent supportive housing like Ambrose Place. I'm not sure if you've heard of this facility before. So maybe that is one area we can start with and then build from there. So that's my thoughts on the topic.
No, it's fantastic. At least we are thinking about it. Unless we think change is not going to happen. At least we are building on a background, we are building on a foundation. You did mention about the transportation. When we talk about the transportation, as you mentioned, it's not just the municipality, it's the federal government and provincial government because they're funded, right? And then we have LRT projects going on which have been delayed, and we are planning for more. And new bus routes or the transit routes have come too. And it's a lot of debate going on. Some are happy, some are not happy. What's your thoughts on it?
So I'm speaking from the heart here. I'm a West Side resident who cannot drive. So I am excited for the LRT. I found it unbelievable, to be honest, that we did not have an LRT that goes straight to West Edmonton Mall, one of the biggest attractions in the city and a very big employment center. So for the LRT to finally lead towards West Edmonton Mall is something many of us look forward to. I acknowledge that the construction and even the lines along Stony Plain Road and 156th Street, there's definitely pros and cons to that. I've tried to, as a regular citizen, to share my thoughts, and the decisions have already been made. When it comes to the new bus network, my neighborhood is one of those who lost our frequent bus and now have the on-demand bus system. I use it half the time now because I need to. So what I will do as an elected representative and what I'm doing right now as a regular citizen for now, hopefully, is to continue to provide specific feedback to the city. My hope is that it will not take another 20 years for them to fix the bus routes or to tweak the bus routes, that they have the capacity to make small changes in order to customize solutions for specific neighborhoods with their specific needs. So that's what I'm hoping to do. And I want to be the positive and productive conduit between the city administration and the constituents affected by the changes in transit.
No, I 100, like, Gisela, you brought very good point. Like, we have to give a feedback. Unless we are giving a feedback, is a change. If it's a change, if we are not giving a feedback, we are not telling it's working or not, it's not going to happen. Now we talked about LRT, we have talked about bike lanes. When we are talking about the LRT, we are talking about the transportation. Bike lane has been in a debate for last few years. Some people are happy, some are not. Especially some areas, businesses are saying their business has been affected because of the parking has gone. What you will be doing, how you will be managing this?
So my personal opinion about bike lanes is that in areas of our city with a huge population, especially a population of, not everyone who can drive because they can't afford to, like university students and young professionals, it makes sense to have multimodal transportation networks. That is actually the word that I prefer, because it's not just the bicycles that use bike lanes, it's the e-scooters or maybe grandma's motorized scooter, right? So in places like the university area and White Ave, basically Ward Papas Teo, I think it makes sense to have it there, as well as downtown Ward O Damon. I think it makes sense for it to be there, because there are. I think there's a growing trend with the younger generation like myself who are starting to not get as many cars. So having more transportation options is beneficial for everybody. I really don't think at this point, at least, that bike lanes for the West End for Sipi Wundawak is a great idea, but maybe eventually bike lanes going to the mall, but that's a very long-term thing. But yes, bike lanes make sense because I say this as a personal testimony in the winter. Sometimes homeowners and business owners are not great at cleaning their sidewalks and it's icy and slippery, but the bike lanes are cleared, so I have one safe option to get around. So it's more than just the people who use their wheels to get around. It helps pedestrians, it helps people who walk as well in all seasons. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but yes, in the concentrated, populated areas in the city, they definitely make sense.
Thank you, Gisela, for your honest opinion. So, Gisela, the second question is next question is when we talk about changes, right? And when we talk about the LRT, no project is going to be conducted, started, or completed without having the money. Mm-hmm. You are a student of commerce too, and you have a business degree, Bachelor of Commerce in a business. And this pandemic, where the taxes has been cut down, deficit has increased, federal, provincial, everyone has deficit increase, right? How are you going to manage it? You cannot start a project unless you have the money, and you need help from the provincial and federal. How are you going to manage this?
I believe this is where transparency is really important. I think a lot of people get anxious about big dollars because they don't necessarily know the breakdown. I think there are projects that can be postponed. For instance, this is of utmost relevance to residents on the West Side. There are two projects that we're talking about here: the LRT and the Lewis Estates Recreation Center there. So from my perspective, I know recreation is definitely very important, but we have existing facilities. We have community leagues that help make recreation programs happen. So perhaps that can be put on hold or postponed. And the interesting thing with the West LRT project is that it's not like we are deciding whether to begin it or not. Construction has already started. Utilities have already been moved in my neighborhoods. We've been getting notices for construction. So it might actually be a good idea to just continue the momentum of building the West LRT because it does result into employment. So there's that really interesting balance. It is unrealistic to just stop everything because we can't afford anything, because when people are employed, they also activate the economy. So I really hope that all orders of government can work together to find a solution so that the debt burden is not as cumbersome, but at the same time, we manage to get people working and get people spending money in local businesses. And hopefully, eventually, we'll have an additional piece of infrastructure that benefits all Edmontonians.
Gisela, like in south side, southwest, I know you are from west too, and property zoning has been changed. You know, small houses are getting demolished and apartment buildings are coming, or skinny houses are coming. How you will be managing or supporting the new community without building new hospitals or everything? What's your plans on that?
That's a really complex question, actually. And that's why my research team is helping me with that. Like, what's interesting with my ward, Ward Sipi Wundawak, is we are divided into two distinct areas. My neighborhood is one of the mature neighborhoods where a lot splitting and the skinnies are definitely coming in. And then all the neighborhoods west of the Henday, they're still being built from the ground up. So there's definitely different priorities, different needs, and different perspectives. Like for my neighborhood and the more mature ones, there's a lot of push for densification so that our old schools don't get shut down because of low population. And then there's the demand for the newer neighborhoods. They want facilities that are built right the first time. So in this case, it's definitely neighborhood by neighborhood, or I guess another way to describe it, it's a district by district area. If you have had a chance to read the city plan that the city had just recently released, the Ward Sipi-Windawak is divided into two distinct districts, West Edmonton and West Henday. I think it made sense that they clustered neighborhoods in these districts because there's distinct priorities and needs there. So we are working on making sure that there is appropriate solutions and engagement so the residents in these respective neighborhoods get what they need and deserve.
Thank you, Gisela. You're watching Hunny Walia shows. We have Gisela with us. She is running for a city councillor. We are talking to her and we are getting her views, her feedback, what she thinks, and what changes she will bring if she are a city councillor. Gisela, in the end, what message would you like to give to our viewers why they should be voting for you? And if they want to get connected with your campaign, how they can do it?
Absolutely. My key message to my fellow Edmontonians is that no matter who you are, your age and income level, and how you get around in the city or how long you've lived here, you deserve to have a city where programs and services work for you. And I am running to advocate for everyday Edmontonians like you and me. I encourage you to participate in the upcoming elections in whichever way works for you. Volunteer to drop off of pre-brochures, talk to all candidates about your ideas, and even donate to someone that you are interested in supporting. If you live in the West End, which is the current Ward 5 or Ward 1 that is now part of Ward Sipi-Windawak, please reach out to me at gisellegeneral.ca. I am also available on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, so you can reach to me there. And please exercise this important right and responsibility and vote on October 18.
Thank you, Gisela. You are watching Hunny Walia shows. We are talking about city elections coming. So we always talk about we need this, we require this changes. As Gisela said, we have to come forward, we have to get involved, we have to do our homework, and we have to see which candidate we want to vote for. Please exercise your right. Please vote for the right person whom you think will be the best for the city as a city councillor and a mayor. Keep watching Hunny Walia shows till we meet again. I'm your host, Sunil. Take a leave. Have a good day.